Hello everyone and welcome back to another Pony and Wolf Productions video. My name is once again visualbrony and today we are reading the story Hearthwarming Eve Dinner by Jamin P. Rose. So, by the way, I actually almost read that as Jasmine P. Rose, but it's Jamin, without an S. Never heard that name, but actually has a nice ring to it. Actually, now let's give you a list of those amazing people who keep this channel alive with their monthly donations and help us to keep our bills paid. Now, without further ado, let me tell you that this also helps me at midnight actually, to buy some lovely treats for our little Luna, the newest member of Pony and Wolf Productions. Now, without further ado, let's get into the story because I'm fairly certain that I'm annoying you a great deal by now. 'Tis the night of Hearthwarming Eve in a cold wasteland town. A blanket of snow settles down upon the roofs of the houses. A few ponies are seen roaming the streets, for the chill of the winter bears down on the town like a glacier on a mountain. Each house is alight through curtained windows from fires in pits that fill them with warmth. Families gather for supper and cheer, their children gathered near for stories of Equestria's yesteryear. In one of the houses sits the oddest of families, 3 alicorns, a unicorn, a bat pony, a pegasus, and a small little pagabat hybrid. Though not related by blood, their family no less. The crazy aunt of a blue alicorn dances to the rough music and song of the pegasus and unicorn. The smaller of the alicorn stallions happily chats and tells stories to the little hybrid, who stares in awe and claps his hoofs in delight. The young alicorn uses his magic to great effect as he makes silly props dance, his purple coat making a wonderful background for his little plays and tales. Off to the side sits an older alicorn, his orange coat and blue mane shimmering from the light of the fire. Next to him sits a bat pony, hidden partially in the shadows, his dull red-gray coat nearly fading completely into the shadow so that only his red eyes and mane stand out. The pair watch the room with smiles broken by the occasional sips from their drinks. Next to the fireplace, the Pegasus strums a jaunty tune, her lilac coat and bright yellow mane shimmering and dancing from the light of the fire, as a violet with a dark yellow unicorn next to her sings an upbeat song in time with the tune. The pair of them sway to the music they make, their eyes gleaming with warmth as they watch the crazy blue alicorn dance a silly dance to the music. "Do you know where Nyx is, Redshade?" The large orange alicorn says softly to the smaller bat pony in his shadow. "No, I don't. I sent out an invitation to the last place she was, but I don't know if she got it," Redshade replies, taking a drink of his cider. "You know how she is, Star Armor. She takes her job very seriously." "Yeah, a little too seriously if you ask me," Star Armor replies before taking a sip of his cider. "It's a shame. I'd have liked to have her here this year," Redshade says before downing the last of his drink. "Yeah, same here," Star Armor says, setting his mug down and looking over to the violet unicorn and giving her a big smile. "All the same, it's nice that you, Violet, and Lamplight could come out for Hearthwarming. Yeah, and having Silane here is great too," Redshade says, staring fondly at the blue alicorn. "You know, it's kind of funny, but in a way the Karens were right when we visited the spa," Star Armor says with a smirk. "We were kind of like parents to you during our journey." Yeah, you were. Which would make Crimson your grandson in a way," he says, blush appearing on his cheeks making them just light enough to appear from the shadow. "I know," Star says in a quiet voice. Redshade lets out a quiet squeak and his blush intensifies.
Star, I swear you...
So, you got the hots for your mom, huh? Star teases with a smirk. Redshade hisses at Star Armor and makes a jumping motion at him, earning a snickering from the older pony. As they banter a bit playfully, there's a knock at the door that startles a lot of them. Redshade drops through Star's shadow and appears from the shadow of the table by the door. Tossing the door open reveals another bat pony figure, dressed in a light cloak and carrying a scythe. Before any pony can say anything, the little ball of fluff that is Crimson, the little hybrid, shoots across the room and slams into the figure with a squeal of delight, getting an oof from the mare.
Auntie Nyx, you made it!
I did. I'm sorry I'm late. Duty kept me. Nyx says, casting down her hood and showing off her brilliant blue coat and lighter blue mane before ruffling Crimson's hair. Good to see you, Crimson. I didn't miss dinner, did I?
Not at all,
the Lilac Pegasus says as she stops playing.
You're actually just about right on time. Come, take a seat at the table. Would you like anything to drink?
Thank you, Lilac. Some of that malt cider I smell would be nice. Nyx says as she offers her cloak to Redshade. It's good to see all of you again. Crimson smiles up at Nyx and rushes over to the table to pull a chair out for her as Lilac sets out a mug of cider. While Nyx takes a seat at the table, Redshade goes and checks the stew as well as the bread. Star Armor and Violet both migrate to the table with Lilac, goes back over to the kitchen and helps Redshade with the food. In short order, 8 bowls of soup and a piece of bread to go with it.
How was your trip here, Nyx?
Redshade asks as he sits down at the table next to Lilac with Crimson sitting in his taller chair next to him.
Slow and cold, but otherwise uneventful,
Nyx says before having a spoonful of her soup.
This is really good. Thanks, Nyx,
Lilac says after a bite of her own soup.
Lilac loves cooking things like this and she's the best at it,
Redshade says, giving his wife a nuzzle.
You two really are the sweetest couple,
Nyx says with a cheesy smile.
Not that you and Star Armor are a cool couple too, Violet.
I get you, those two are adorable, Violet says as she leans against Star Armor.
There will be time to talk after dinner,
Lilac says as she scoops up another spoonful of soup. The room descends into the sounds of eating and the occasional chatter as they enjoy the dinner. After dinner they move back to the fireplace where the drinks are shared and stories told between them, well into the night until all of them eventually feel the call of sleep and settle down to sleep as the snow continues to fall. Hello everyone and welcome back to Common Thomas Visual Pony, where I remind you that you can support Pony and Wolf Productions through the links in the description below. Every dollar helps is needed and very much appreciated and helps to keep the lights on around here and to buy our little Luna toys and snacks. So let's get into the meat of the story because this seems to be a Fallout Equestria story and yeah. Actually this seems to be a crossover between crossovers if I am not completely mistaken. Yeah, it is definitely Fallout and alternate universe. Because if I have to look at this, there's only one fanon character that I know of that is named Nyx, and that is the main character from the story Past Sins, which is also an amazing story, and basically it's Nightmare Moon's alter ego, whatever. So, yeah, no, basically it's Nightmare Moon reincarnated, but without her memories, so she's just a innocent alicorn filly, and then Twilight picks her up and raises her, and then she becomes not evil, and it's a great story. Just go and look for it on YouTube, there is a reading. So yeah, this could be the Nyx that we know from that story, though it is said here that she's not an alicorn, but a bat pony, so I'm conflicted. In a way, I like it. There could be done some tweaking, but overall, nice story. Sincerely, yours, Visual Pony, and as always, I hope that this story finds you well in body and mind.